Good evening, everyone. It's Motivational Mondays. It's June 27th, and I feel like my face looks really red tonight, but I spent 3 days out in the wilderness, sailing one day, camping the next two, totally in my space of bliss, just hanging out. I was just laughing because I was sitting on a river bank for most of the weekend reading Siddhartha. And if you've read Siddhartha, it relates to the river speaking to him. So it's been a hard Monday morning for me to come back to reality. And so I'm thrilled to be here with you and help you with your Monday pick-me-up to get through the rest of the week. And even more thrilled that Tanya is back with us tonight, that we put a message out on Facebook and said we were going to take someone through her process and looked for a volunteer to respond, and we got that, and Miss Patty Blakesley is with us to do that this evening. So excited. So I want to remind everybody that everybody needs support now and again and needs a pick-me-up from other people. And, that's a big reason I'm doing this Monday evening call. So people can just dial in and they can just get a little pick-me-up, a little spark of inspiration, as they call me, the spark. And tonight we're going to draw on Tanya's experience to help us with that, because I need the help too tonight, and I'm free to admit that. So, without further ado,
let's do this thing, right? So one of the ways that what Luann's talking about is the Monday morning freak out, like especially if you've had a good weekend. It's like Monday, it's just conditional. She was sharing that her body starts to say, okay, I've got to feel guilty about something. I've got to be behind on something. And it's conditional because for so many years you've programmed your body, to tense up on a Monday morning. Okay. So,
and actually, I can top that. Historically, that panic would start around supper time on Sunday night.
Yes.
Exactly. Then I would start going, I should have been working all weekend. I didn't get anything done. I got to go do something. Oh my gosh, I have so much to do. Since we didn't come home from camping until this morning, I was in my free space of bliss in the wilderness until about 10 o'clock this morning. And by noon, that panic hit in.
Now, I'm going to explain to everybody what's going on for her neurologically. Because by listening to her language, and Patty, this is what I'm going to do with you today.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about where Luann's at. What happens is whenever you're starting a new pattern. And like she's starting her new pattern. She for years has done one thing and now she's switching to the other. Her soul, she's listening to her soul. Her mind agrees. But the thing is, her body is still responding to old programming running at 400 billion bits per second. Okay? So she feels split in half. Because neurologically she is. All right? Where Luann is right now emotionally. But we're talking about the limbic system. You have your stimulus response, which is what I call your reticular activation system. You have your limbic system, which in all the writings is called the dark night of the soul, or, your 40 days and your 40 nights. Or the valley of your darkness. That's your emotional body. If you don't have discernment, your emotions run you. You don't run your emotions, right? But you can't have discernment just by understanding discernment. That's, if we could do that, then you wouldn't have any Monday morning panic. The thing is, your body is still getting the response from an old childhood memory or just any kind of memory running at 400 billion bits per second. This new practice, and new can be you've been doing it for 6 months. You get that, Luann? Like I think in personal growth, we think, okay, I understand it, so why isn't it working?
Right.
Well, it's because the body needs to be lovingly brought into alignment with what your soul is guiding you to do, what your mind has agreed to do. So, how do we lovingly get those two to merge? Well, one of the things is like we're talking about it. Like the thing is, allowing yourself to admit, hey, I'm having this panic. And you sit with the panic instead of act from the panic. Okay, you sit with it like we do in the journaling, right? Then you can see your own words. Then you can say, oh, you won't take an action from it. But again, that takes practice. I think.
So I don't even want to journal that negativity.
Yeah. Well, that's actually your ego trying to prevent you from having a breakthrough. So just listen to that, why don't you?
Oh, I love that one.
Tricky little thing, that ego. Oh, I don't even feel like. Well, see, let me tell you what happens. You got to kick out because. And whenever I'm coaching someone and they go, they hadn't had any progress that week, I go, are you journaling? Well, no. I mean, I totally understand it. I go, okay, journal. I'm your coach, not your cheerleader. Journal. Because it goes from the head. If you don't journal, it can't get through your arm channels. Do you understand? It can't go from your head down to your heart, down to your hips, down to your butt, down to your knees, down to your feet, so you're walking that way. This is an actual energetic transference that needs to go all the way through the body. Mm. And if you don't write down, you will forget it. Like, how many times have you been to a workshop and you didn't write it down? You know advanced learning techniques.
Right.
We see it, then we write it, then it goes into long-term memory.
Right.
Long-term memory, right? Well, that's also your automatic response. We want it to go into long-term memory. What you want to go into long-term memory, and you're thinking, oh, I'm just putting in garbage every time I write garbage. No, you're not. Because you're doing it with the intention of awareness.
Okay.
So journaling isn't it done in a way to have a breakthrough, is done as an awareness to see, what are my words saying? Because I can think something, but when I start speaking, I'm saying something that's not in alignment with what my soul is doing, wanting to do, right? Now, what's real exciting, Patty, I want to now, transfer to Patty, because you're going to really love some of this. And Luann, this also was something that you and I had worked with in your coaching stuff, pre-verbal.
Yep.
What do you do when this got put in pre-verbal? And Patty, I did all your assessments. I read all the forms you sent me. Okay. So I can let you know why you're struggling with what you're struggling with. But could you just share with everybody, like, introduce yourself, tell us what you want to get from tonight's call.
Okay, sure. So I'm Patty Blakesley, and what I would love to get from this call is the feeling that I can ask for money for what I do, because I tend to give away my services. And I know that's a blockage.
Yes. And, okay, so good. So you want to
Can I just reassure Patty that she's not the only one?
No, I mean, that's what I love about this. And let me tell you why. I mean, Patty, I'm going to say some general things that I got from reading your exact words, okay? This is a process that I've studied for years, and we use it in the Money and Life Freedom Weekend experience. Mm-hmm. And also, Beth, Jane, and I also use it in our coaching program.
Okay.
It's a very powerful tool based on how you line your words up. I look at all of your words from a far perspective. I can see patterns.
Right.
Okay. Now, if this call was like, like when we're going to talk tomorrow, I'll go into a lot of detail about your patterns. Okay. Because she also got the extra gifts. So she's getting a reading tomorrow with me. So I'll go into a lot of detail because that's a long reading, but I want to tell you quickly for this, why you're having trouble is that you have a blockage in your throat chakra. If you're not are you middle child?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I was going to say, but you're a leader. The thing is, you're a very strong middle child, though. There was no time for you. And it was very authoritative in your household. It was more like, be quiet, speak when you're spoken to. Okay, all right. So your body's saying yes. All that showed up in your languaging. Okay? So like right now, I can feel you're kind of feeling uncomfortable. Probably something's going on. Like, are you feeling like butterflies or something?
No, actually not.
Okay, so what's going on? What's going on like here? Like what, like your body's starting to do this. What's happening?
Well, I was just thinking how that what you're saying and what you said about journaling was so interesting to me, because I do know that self-expression, the throat chakra, is one of my challenges. So I found that interesting.
Yes, and one of the reasons is
give me butterflies. It just sort of resonating with me.
Okay, good. Because what happened in your body, and you can go back and watch, what I love about Zoom is you can go back and watch when I said that, your neck and all went like this, and your body kind of went back a little bit. So more than likely, you usually put yourself second, third, or fourth.
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah. All right. You allow people to go before you. So it would be very hard for you to even speak up and say, hey, me, hello, Now, what happens, why this all happens is because you are a very sensitive healer. Okay? You've been able to know and sense things from a very young age. And animals and, there's a lot that goes on for you that there wasn't anyone you can really talk to about it. And there's a lot of scary something that happened like 2 and younger, like 3 younger. Before your sentences could really evolve, that shut down your throat chakra. Now, it's easy to open it up.
That's good.
We don't have to go into the trauma to release the drama. Like we could, I think we've all done that in personal growth. We've done enough following the pain route. We could go all the way back to that event and release it. Or you can decide, I want to forgive it. So I'm going to work with the energy of it, not necessarily the story of it.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
So one of the things is I very much recommend you do the I Am Feeling Good 8-day challenge. It's free. Okay. You sing along, you hum along, you want to start putting in words, frequencies into this area.
Okay.
You see? And by tomorrow, I'm going to have you because part of your reading, I design meditations for you, specifically for your energy body, to release this part so that you can, start. Girl, you got so much power in all the other parts of all your words. Once you clear up this throat chakra, you're not going to ask for money, you're going to command money. And I don't mean that from a mean place, but it's kind of like, I make this is the money I receive for this. You're going to reclaim your throne.
Okay.
You see? Yes. You know what I mean? So it's like you then command money because like you said, money is energy. You are correct. Yeah. And so because you're not commanding it, It's not moving. Okay. And Luann, this is huge for you because you talk about money. But sometimes just for me, whenever we're panicked, this is just for like, it's not like Luann, you're doing this right now. I want to bring it up to all the listeners. Whenever we get to that point when we're panicked, at that time, the only time you should be speaking is in a journal, silently. Your fears about money. You don't want to give it auditory vibration. And y'all are advanced enough in personal growth, you understand what I'm talking about. So instead of saying, I can't pay my bills, I'm scared, I can't pay my bills, don't say that out loud. It's more powerful, you see. Say it in your journal, heal it in your journal, rewrite it in your journal, cry it out in your journal, you see. And then when you decide to align, fuse yourself with light, get on your throne, then you speak and command what you want money to do. You know, so what we're going to be doing and what this is doing is just slowing down the process enough for you to reorder the steps. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Totally, right? And that's what the Money and Life Freedom Weekend experience does. It gives everyone time to think. We create an environment where, you know, you get to sit back and go, wait, if I wasn't reacting to this, what would I want to do with it? If I wasn't in a stimulus response, what would I want to do right now? And those are like some great discernment questions. Because if you're not feeling good, you're in a stimulus response. Yes. What's your question?
And I want to make sure you get to the exercise with Patty. But so to be clear, though, and I'm sure it will help other listeners as well, is that going back to the voice in my head. So when I go into the panic mode, you know, it's not a self-care place to be, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden one tries to do a lot of tasks and, you know, and really things aren't getting accomplished well.
Right.
So again, step back, right? Step back and go, what is my priority for the moment? What do I really need to be doing in this moment? Whether that is, you know, what I actually really need a nap or what, you know, and honoring that. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Okay. And the thing is, it's so individualized, you know, so what it is, the process is, especially what I'm going to share tomorrow night on the how to your divine calling, how to embody your divine calling. Oh, I was thinking infuse, I don't know, but how to do that, right? What happens? I'm going to tell a story. So wow. I love telling stories. So, and this is a biblical reference, but I just like the story a lot. I don't know what chapters because I'm not good about all that. But there is one where it talks about when you're doing the right thing, but the wrong thing keeps happening. You know, we all have that feeling. You know, we get up, we're meditating, we're focused, we believe in the passion test. We know it's the best tool on this planet for listening to your soul's voice. Like, and it is just such a powerful tool. We know that without a shadow of a doubt, right? We got all that going. We believe it with all of our heart and our soul. And then what happens is we plant the seeds. We go to sleep, doing really good. Well, at night, now in the Bible, it says the enemy plants a weed right on the side of your good seed every night. Okay? Now, you don't know that. Well, in my speak, I call that neurologically, you have all these subconscious beliefs that are still hidden and won't come up until your harvest comes up. And what they say is when the harvest comes up, the weeds come up with the good seed at the same time. Now, what are you going to focus on? The weeds or your harvest? So right now, because there's those different levels of transformation, both of you are what I call, you're in stage 3. Y'all have both planted and your harvests are coming up, both of it. And you got weeds coming up at the same time you have your harvest.
Okay.
So the process is to each day, that's why journaling is important, is you want to be able to magnify the harvest and let God take care of the weeds.
Okay.
And so body stuff is like as soon as you start feeling pressure on your shoulders, tensions in your neck, you stop and you say, okay, those weeds, I'm looking at weeds, I'm giving them over. I'm not talking about weeds. Nah. And I have to I feel like I'm pushing out words that I'm trying to think out of my energy field. I actually feel myself building what's called a hedge of protection. Like I won't even let a negative word get within my space. I start commanding, those. Now, what's hilarious about this is that 2 weeks before, when I started commanding, God, help me see what you want me to see, speak what I'm supposed, only what you want me to speak here with you, I blessed my eyes, my ears, my mouth. All I could do was cuss for a full 2 weeks. All I could do was complain. I was like, and I'm like, this is like way out of character. What did I do? Oh, yeah. I asked to bless my mouth. Well, there you go. Any limiting belief will come out. Do you understand? So it's good news. So that's what, I think, Luann, that's the thing I think I want everyone to remember. If you're frustrated on a Monday and you're a passion test facilitator, that's good news because you have been doing the right thing. And right now you're about to break through something. So your body's going to be fighting a little bit. So it's great news.
That's the other reminder that feeling of resistance, uncertainty, what have you, is the key to a breakthrough.
Exactly. If it's up in your face, you are at breakthrough. In fact, the limiting belief is already gone. You're just clearing up debris.
Cool.
Okay, because you wouldn't be able to speak it out loud if it wasn't broken. Okay?
Right.
Now, Patty, I want to check in with you because this is a short call, kind of like an intro deal. I want to know if what I just recommended would help you for tonight, like to start thinking about singing, doing things for your throat chakra. Okay, do you have any other questions for tonight specifically?
No, I think that what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I journal a lot anyway because I'm a writer. So what you said about journaling was really interesting to me.
Good.
That self-conscious beliefs, if we knew them, we wouldn't have them.
Right. And we're so hard on ourselves.
Right.
Like we beat ourselves up. I mean, bless our cute little hearts.
I want to address what you just said, and that is, if we knew those self-limiting beliefs, then we wouldn't have them anymore. Yet we talk about false beliefs, false concepts, false ideas. We bring things, especially around money and in the Money and Life Freedom course, we bring them to the forefront of, like money doesn't grow on trees, and I can't remember the other ones, but we write through all those false anecdotes, statements we've carried around in our lives. I'm not made of money. Those kind, and so I know I have limiting beliefs around money. I get it. I know the stories that come up, and it's like, what's the trigger to the other side?
Okay, I'll tell you. It's an absolute. It's an absolute. You've got to be willing. It's absolute.
Okay. Are you willing, Patty? Are we in this together?
Bold obedience. I mean, it is bold obedience. You have got to know every dime that you've ever touched has come from the inside out. And so it really causes you to pause and say, well, that would make a lot of sense. Well, I'm not getting anywhere because, I'm doing. I keep jumping off my throne. Doing, and no wonder I'm supposed to stay in alignment and share what's easy, what's my divine gifts, not what the world wants from me, but what my body lights up about. And it's not going to be like anybody else's.
Can I just say something? I think, Luann, what you just said about the limiting beliefs, what I was talking about was the ones that are not obvious. I mean,
Well, are so ingrained.
Yeah, we all grew up with, money is the root of all evil and all those things. But there's the ones I was talking about are the ones that I'm not even aware I have, as Tanya's saying, because I'm holding my self-expression is blocked.
Exactly, because you haven't even spoke it yet. So how does she know what really is motivating her to not be around money?
Right.
Like a lot of things is so funny when we get right down to it. It's startle response. A lot of the stuff, like once I work with someone's adrenal glands, help them like relax past the startle response, so much aligns. Because, you're not, just think about your spinal column is an electrical conduit. Mm-hmm. So if you're jumping off of your main power source all the time, then, you're not going to feel flow, You're going to feel freaked is what you're going to feel. And then you can't receive money when you're freaked. Have you ever seen, like, if you're splashing in water like this, how can anything come to you? If you're, just think of energy, money, all of that flowing is just like that. If you're doing a lot of this, all the waves would bring all the money away from you. And so, people don't even realize that's why I'm teaching this online class that is just like one little part of the Money and Life Freedom. You get this in the Money and Life Freedom Weekend experience, but it's the law of money and distance. Like you don't even realize, like I had this experiment where I had $1 million in $100 bills copied, but they look like $100 bills on a table. I did the Wonders of Wealth workshop. People would come up to the table, look at it, think it was the money, and their body would back away. And I would say, oh, money startles you? And they go, no, I love money. No, their body was running from it.
Which goes right back to the alignment of your body into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think you talked about, and Tanya's doing is it a free call tomorrow night, Tanya?
Yes, it's a free call tomorrow night. How to embody your divine calling. And I go over the 4 stages and how to identify what stage you're in of transformation. And then how to, wherever you are, usually you feel like you keep hitting a loop. You're in one of the stages and you just need a few little exercises to get you to the next phase. Okay? And then I have products from free all the way to one-on-one coaching. I'm doing a special tomorrow night. And every 48 hours, I'm going to run the same webinar, but every time the gifts will be less and less and less. But you still get good gifts all the way until the online academy is open, which is July 12th. So, do join me tomorrow night. I think you're going to love it. And I have special meditation pack for everyone who stays through the whole webinar. You get free meditations from me.
And that's 7 p.m. tomorrow night.
7 p.m. Central. You could go.
That would be Tuesday, the 28th, 7
Yes.
p.m. Central. Go to
Yeah.
I Am Feeling Good on Facebook, right?
Yeah, well, what you do, if you want to get in the I Am Feeling Good challenge, you have to go to thesouthernmuse.com.
Gotcha.
Join the I Am Feeling Good. And then tomorrow night, just go to my Facebook. I have the link. Luann, I'll send you the link to send out to people to join tomorrow night.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah. Patty, so looking forward to talking to you tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to talking to you too, Ivy.
It's going to be fun.
I hope so.
Well,
Okay. Much love, everybody.
so much fun to work with the Southern Muse. So thank you for sharing with us. Thank you, Patty, for being here tonight. I know I feel better just hanging out with the positive energy of the two of you. So we're going to share that with the world when I share this out on Facebook. And hopefully we'll see a bunch more people tomorrow night so that they too can feel good.
Yay!
All right, ladies.
Bye.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.